Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir.
How are you guys doing?
Fine, sir.
Okay. So, as I said earlier, that in every class we'll be doing some questions. Okay, now. So, first of all, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to do some questions, and then we'll be continuing with the chapter that was going in the batch, that is Age of Adolescence. All right. Aleph, Chakrika, Gauri. Okay, now. Yes, Abdullah, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Good. Okay. By the way, Abdullah,
Yes.
yes, I'm good. What chapter is going on in your class? Meanwhile, you guys can start answering these questions. What's going on in your school? Which chapter is being taught? When is your exam? I'm referring to Abdullah. Yes,
Sir,
Khadij.
my exam starting from 26.
26. And your syllabus in the school has been finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you shared your syllabus with the team, with the Learnivio team? Have you shared it?
Yes, sir, I have.
You have? Okay, okay. Kindly mention the names of the chapters in the chat box. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Should
Yes.
I message now?
Yeah, on this ID. Okay, now.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, everyone answer these questions. Separating grains from chaff. What do we call that? These are questions from the first chapter. Yes, Khadija, Aleph, how are you guys doing?
Sir, it's threshing.
Okay. What about others? Yes, Chakrika, Gauri,
Same, sir.
same. That is
Yes.
threshing. Good. What is the principle of threshing? What is the principle of threshing? Yes.
Sir, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, have the harvested crop when we separate the seeds of it.
Hmm?
It is called threshing from the chaff.
Okay, that is the procedure. That is the step you are saying. Basically, the principle of threshing is that, like, what principle it is based. For example, churning of milk is based upon centrifugation, where when you churn the milk, the light particles, like the light fat molecules, being less denser, being light in weight, it accumulates on top. That is the principle of decantation or churning in the case of milk. So, what is the principle of threshing? I'm asking.
Impact?
Impact.
Grinding.
Repeat again. Basically, the reason here is that the weight, basically, the difference in the weight. Okay, now, or basically, when you, what do you say? When you hit it on a rough surface, when you hit it on a piece of a stone, so as it will be impacted, okay, now, so thereby it will be getting separated from the stalk. Okay, now. Okay. Next question: wheat and gram, are they rabi crop or they kharif crop? What are wheat and gram? Are they rabi or kharif? Yes. Wheat and
Sir,
gram.
rabi crops.
Okay. What about others?
It is rabi crops.
It is rabi crops. Good. Okay. You guys tell me that when is rabi crops grown?
Sir, October to December.
October to December. Basically, basically from mid-November to May, April, May. Okay, na. The sowing of the rabi crops starts in the middle of the November. Okay, na. And by the end of the April or in the starting week of the May, the crops are ready to be harvested. So basically, this is the winter. So in winters, it is grown. Okay. So what is this 2,4-D? Is it pesticide, insecticide, fungicide, or weedicide?
Sir, weedicide.
Okay. What about others? Yes.
Pesticide.
You are saying pesticides.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
can you tell which subject is like I was not there.
Okay, no issue. But while the chapter was going on, this was out. Okay, what are you guys saying? Is it a weedicide, pesticide? What is it?
Sir, it says crop production and management.
Yeah, it is from that chapter.
Okay.
It's a weedicide, na guys. Okay, na? It's a weedicide. Keep that in mind. Okay. Seed drill is used to
Sow the
Sow the
seeds.
seeds.
sow the seeds. Good. Okay. Now we have question from the chapter coal and petroleum. What is the purest form of carbon?
Coke.
Coke.
That is coal.
Coke.
Very good. Very good. Okay. What is the procedure via which this coke and other products are obtained from coal? What do we call that procedure as? There's a procedure via which this coke is obtained from coal. What do we call that procedure? Yes. We seem to have forgot that. Khadija, Abdullah, Alif, Gauri, Chakrika. Yes. Didn't we learn about this?
Destructive distillation.
Exactly. That is destructive distillation of coal. Good. Coal tar contains about how many substances in it?
200 substances.
200.
200. Good. What are the uses of coal tar?
It is traditionally used to make to lay the roads.
Okay, earlier it was used, and
Yes, sir.
nowadays lots of products are obtained made from this coal tar. Since it has about 200 different substances in it, so just name a few. Yes. Everyone just at least everyone can say at least one use of the coal tar.
Sir, to make paint.
To make paints, very good. And
Plastics.
okay, certain kind of plastics, correct? Plastics. Right now we are taking learning this uses of coal tar. By the way, coal tar, it is a black thick liquid, okay, na, and has a very unpleasant smell. It is used to make variety of things, like you guys have said that plastic. Gauri, you said paint. Very good. And what else? There are lots of substances that we make from this.
Synthetic fiber.
Synthetic fibers, well done.
The explosives.
Explosives, very good. Explosives. And perfumes, isn't it? Perfumes are also made from the coal tar, plus photographic material, the film of the photographic.
I think this dyes and
Mhm.
some type of alcoholic things also.
Yes, like dyes are made, synthetic dyes are made. Okay, na, explosives, plastics, paints. Furthermore, naphthalene balls are also made from the coal tar. Okay, na, a naphthalene ball, as we know that it is used to uh, prevent the cloth from moth and from insects. Okay, so naphthalene balls are also used, are also made from the coal tar. Okay. Now, where was the first oil well drilled for the first time?
USA.
USA.
To be exact, it was
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania in USA. Good. And in India, where was the first oil well digged? The first oil well in India.
Sir, Gujarat.
No,
Sir, Assam.
Assam. Okay, that was in Assam. Good. Okay, currently, can you guys tell me in which places of India oil is drilled? Currently, in which places of India oil is being drilled?
Sir, Mumbai, Gujarat, Assam.
Mumbai, Gujarat, Assam. Very good. Okay, now you all have heard of the Mumbai High, right? Mumbai High. Okay, next question. What is the full form of PCRA? What does PCRA stand for?
Petroleum Conservation Research Association.
Petroleum Conservation Research Association. Very good. Okay, now it was established in the year 1978. Okay, now in the year 1978, this was established. Okay, and its basically aim is to promote efficient use of energy in different sectors of the economy. Okay, now so that is the purpose of this. Which substance gives heat and light after combustion? Light and heat both.
Flame.
Okay, what about
Fuel.
others? Fuel. And others?
Flame, I think.
Flame, you're saying. Basically, here it's talking about substance, but substance in itself is a flame in itself is not a substance now. Okay, now flame in itself is not a substance, so it will be fuel. What kind of fuel? So it will be a volatile fuel, right now, guys. It will be a volatile fuel. So what do you mean by volatile fuel? Basically, volatile fuel will be a fuel which will turn into vapors after being heated. Like for example, candle, after being heated, it turns into vapors. Or other fuels like kerosene, like petrol, after being heated, it converts into the gaseous state. So any fuel that turns into the gaseous state, it will give light also along with giving heat. Okay, like fuel, the sun also provides heat and light. The process taking place in the sun is called?
All of them?
No,
A
not all of
nuclear
them.
process?
What about others? Chakrika, Aleph, Adija?
Nuclear process.
That is nuclear process. Very good.
Nuclear process.
But ever thought what basically happens in the nuclear process in the sun? Nuclear reaction takes place in the sun. But what kind of reaction is basically taking place there? Basically, nuclear fusion takes place there. Okay, now nuclear fusion will be taking place there. So because of which the nucleus of the hydrogen will be combining to form the helium. Basically, nucleus of the hydrogen will be fusing together to form helium. H here is for hydrogen and He here is for helium. So atoms of the, basically the nucleus of the hydrogen atoms will be forced to react, will be forced to fuse together because of the huge amount of pressure in the sun. Because of the huge amount of pressure and a huge amount of heat, these nucleus will be fusing to form the helium. And in this process, lots of heat is given off. And this reaction is called as nuclear fusion. Keep this in mind, like whenever you guys hear this term nuclear process, now there is two type of nuclear process. One is nuclear fission, another one is nuclear fusion. This is nuclear fusion, another one is nuclear fission. In fission, atoms will be breaking, but in fusion, atoms will be combining. Basically, nucleus will be combining, while in fission, nucleus will be breaking. Anyways, let's continue. Next question. Coal burns with?
Sir, can
Yeah,
I?
sure.
Only glow.
Others, same answer or different?
Both flame and glow.
No, it only glows, no, it does not give flame. Coal is
Okay,
not a
sir.
volatile fuel. It does not produces sufficient amount of vapor to give a flame. Only those fuels that will be volatile, that will produce vapors, will give a flame. Otherwise, they will just glow. Okay, so these are a few questions which we have discussed. Let's continue with the chapter which we were doing in the previous classes. Okay. All right, Chakrika, we were doing the chapter age of adolescence, right? And others. Okay. So in the chapter so far, we have learned about puberty and adolescence, and we were learning about we also learned about the different changes that takes place in the puberty and in the adolescence. Okay. Basically, I mean to say different changes that takes place at puberty. So we had learned about all those things. In the previous classes, we were learning about the sexual characters. Okay. So we did learn that the primary sexual characters that develops in the male and in the female is the development of the sex organs and the release of the sperm and the ovum in the male and female body respectively. But along with the development of the reproductive organs, we have seen that at puberty, a significant change that will distinguish the male and female from each other, the visible changes that distinguishes them from each other are called as secondary sexual characters. Okay, na? And this has got nothing to do directly with the process of reproduction. Okay, so there are two type of sexual characters. One is called as primary sexual characters, in which the reproductive organs would be maturing, while at the age of puberty, like growth of facial hairs, growth of hair on the chest, under the arms, and the pubic area in the case of boys, or some changes in the girls, like development of breast, growth of hair under the arms and the pubic area. These are the respective changes in the boys and the girls that are considered as secondary sexual characters, because of which they can be distinguished from each other. They can be differentiated, that one is female, another one is male. Got this, no? Furthermore, the question is that how the changes in the human body occur at the time of puberty. The changes that occur all of a sudden during the age of during puberty. So what is it that brings about these changes? Okay, one of you read the given paragraph. Khadija, you do one thing, you read the given paragraph.
Hormones are chemicals that coordinate different functions in your body by carrying messages through your blood to your organs, skin, muscles, and other tissues. These signals tell your body what to do and when to do it. Hormones are essential for life and your health.
Good. So basically the thing is that the different changes that occurs in the body at the time of puberty, for these changes, hormones will be responsible. But the question is, what are hormones? So hormones are the chemicals that would be coordinating different functions in your body by carrying messages through your body to your organs, to your skin, to your muscles, and to different tissues in the body. These signals tells your body what to do and when to do it. So hormones are essential for your life and your health. Let me elaborate on this. The thing is that hormones would be kind of acting as a messenger, and they would be responsible for transporting a message from one cell to another. Okay, so let's say, for example, in the body, say for example, we have the gland. Let us take a gland. Let us say adrenal gland, for example. Okay, this is a gland, and we know glands are responsible for producing special chemical substances. Right now, they secrete different kind of chemical substances. It could be hormones, it could be enzymes, it could be saliva, it could be tears, it could be sperm, ovary, etc. Getting it? And that's what glands are. We did discuss about this a little bit in the previous classes. Take the case of the adrenal gland. So adrenal gland will be producing a hormone by the name of, anyone can tell me the name of that hormone? That is adrenaline. Okay, now you might have heard of this term before, maybe. So adrenaline is produced by the adrenal gland. Okay, now, so this is a hormone. But what is the function of the adrenaline? So the function of the adrenaline is that, say for example, we happen to be in a emergency situation. Okay, now, like say we are being chased by a lion, by some animal, let's say. So at that time, our body requires energy. Getting it, guys? Our body is in need of extra energy at that time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this adrenaline will make your heart beat faster than usual, and your breathing rate will also increase. Okay, na? Like when you are running from something, so at that time your heart will be beating faster than usual, your breathing rate increases. So because of this, what happens? Your body is getting sufficient amount of oxygen, plus the circulation of the blood in the body increases. So thereby, if different parts of the body are getting sufficient amount of oxygen and blood, so thereby it will be raising your energy level. Getting it, guys? It raises your energy levels, so thereby you will be running faster or doing some activity more intensely. So this adrenaline hormone, what it did now, it went to different parts of the body. This adrenal hormone, it went to the heart, it went to the brain, it went to the muscles, everywhere it went, and it sent the message to work faster. It sent the message to the lung to breathe faster. So isn't this acting as a messenger? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Others are not present today. I think only Gauri is present. Where are others today? Yes. All of you turn your cameras on in the class. All of you turn your cameras on in the class. So far what we learned that hormones, these will be acting as a chemical messenger. They will be transporting the message from one part of the body to another part of the body. Got this now? And they are really important. Okay, now if they fail to, like for example, what happens? Like when the pancreas don't function properly, thereby the person suffers from diabetes. Like the work of the pancreas is to secrete insulin, right? And why do persons suffer from diabetes? Why do persons suffer from diabetes? Either the pancreas at that time will not be producing sufficient amount of insulin, huh? Or either the body will not be utilizing the insulin properly. And insulin is a hormone. See, the pancreas, which is also a gland in our body, its function is to secrete a hormone called as insulin. So this insulin also acts as a messenger. This also acts as a messenger. Okay. Basically, the function of the insulin is to regulate the sugar level in your blood. Its function is to regulate the sugar level in your blood. But what happens sometimes, that when pancreas will not be producing sufficient amount of insulin, so thereby the person will suffer from diabetes and he have to take medicine or either have to take injection of insulin. So thereby these hormones are crucial for our health. It is important for our body. Getting it, everyone? So by now, I think you would have some idea about this. Okay, na? So hormones, they act as chemical messengers. They act as chemical messengers. For example, what we learned, we have a gland by the name of adrenal gland. Where is adrenal gland present? Where did you guys saw it in the diagram?
Sir, little bit
And
above the kidney.
Okay, now on the kidney basically, right? Above the kidney. Good. So adrenal gland, it secretes a hormone by the name of
adrenaline.
adrenaline. Good. What does this do? Its function is that it
It sends a
Mhm.
it sends a message to the body to like act faster.
Basically it sends the message to the heart and to the lungs to work faster. Okay, no? So what I was going to write, so what it does basically that it increases the heartbeat. It increases heartbeat plus it increases breathing rate. Breathing rate. Okay. Now when the heartbeat will increase and the breathing rate will increase, so thereby the blood circulation will increase. Increase supply of blood to the cells plus increase supply of oxygen, right? Increase supply of oxygen. So thereby every cells have got kind of a message that like they are getting sufficient amount of blood and oxygen, so thereby they'll be working faster, hence the energy level of the body will be raised. So that is how they'll be acting as a chemical messenger. So hope this should be clear to everyone. Now, as I have mentioned that glands should be producing this. Okay, now. So glands, we know that they are special organs that would be producing different kind of fluid in our body. Like it would be like tear is produced by the tear gland. Saliva is produced by the salivary gland. Pancreas are there. Pineal gland is there. Pituitary gland and whatnot. So many glands are there in the body. But they have been classified into two groups. Okay, now. So they are two types of glands present in the body. One is called as endocrine, another one is called as exocrine gland. Okay, now so there's a very basic difference in between the two. There's a very fundamental and basic difference between the two. Okay, talking about the exocrine gland. So they will be passing the secretion through a duct system to a body surface, and secretions are normally enzymes. Okay, like they would be secreting the surface onto the skin. It will be coming out of the skin, I mean to say. Okay, now so exocrine glands are, for example, take the example of this sweat gland. Okay, now sweat gland is the exocrine gland. And where does the sweat come? It comes on the screen now, on the skin, I mean to say, right? Or for example, salivary gland or mammary gland, these comes onto the surface of the skin or onto the surface of the organs. So they will be passing the secretions through a duct system, kind of a pipe-like system, to a body surface. Duct here would be referring to a tube-like structure. It's a tube-like structure that is being called as duct here. Getting it? For example, this is our skin. See that this is our skin. And here we have the, let us say that here we have the, okay, let me draw it a little bit below. Okay, let us say that this is the salivary gland. Okay, now. Now the salivary gland will be secreting sorry, I mean to say the sweat gland. So the sweat gland will be producing the sweat, and it will be coming out on the surface of the skin. This is the surface of the skin. So it is coming out via this tube-like structure. Hope you guys can spot this. This is a tube-like structure through which it is coming to the surface of the body. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
So that is the case with the exocrine gland. So they are not going into the blood, but they are directly coming onto the surface of the skin, or they can come from other parts of the body also. Okay, now, like we have the salivary gland, it comes into the mouth, it secretes the saliva that is in the mouth. Then mammary gland is there. Then in fact, digestive glands are also kind of the what do we say, like exocrine gland, right now. So the basic difference here is that exocrine glands should be secreting their secretions either to the surface of the body, like on the skin. Okay, now also they will not be secreting their secretions into the blood. Their secretion will not go into the blood. Like in the chapter Nutrition in Animals, you guys have learned that the stomach secretes different digestive juices. Can you guys tell me what are the digestive juices secreted by the stomach? Which digestive juices are secreted by stomach? Yeah.
Sir, gastric juice.
Yeah, they are called as gastric juices also. Okay, but I'm asking for the name.
So pancreatic juice.
Pancreatic juice is secreted by the pancreas. Now I'm asking about the stomach. Here,
Sir, hydrochloric acid.
hydrochloric acid. Good. And
Electrolytes.
electrolytes are there. Yeah, electrolytes
So
are also there. Yes.
does bile help in the completion of digestion?
Yeah, of course, bile helps in the completion of digestion. It helps break down the fat, okay, no, into fatty
Yes.
acids and glycerol. Okay, but that takes place in
Yes.
the small intestine. I was
Okay.
asking about the stomach. So stomach secretes different kind of gastric juices. Yes, sir. Gauri, you were about to say something.
Sir, I think it's wrong. Nothing.
Okay, okay. Anyways, so like you guys forgot about mucus, pepsin, hydrochloric acid. Huh? All these are secreted by the stomach. But are they going into the blood or are they mixed with the food? They are mixed with the food now, obviously. Right? Got this, no, guys? Or getting confused in this? Please let me know if you guys are getting confused in this.
Sir, can you explain again?
Yeah, sure. The basic difference, keep this in mind, that the exocrine glands, whatever they will be secreting now, it will not go directly into the blood. Like the sweat, it comes out from the sweat gland. This is the sweat gland. And this is a tube-like structure, also called as a duct. So it is coming onto the surface of the skin. It is not going in the blood. Or the saliva coming from the salivary gland, does it go into the blood? Does it goes into the artery or the vein? No. Same is the case with the digestive juices also. Okay, now the digestive glands that are present in our body, like salivary gland is considered as a digestive gland, and some other glands. Okay, now like digestive glands are present in the small intestine, present in the um, stomach and in the pancreas. So they are secreting the secretions, and the secretions of those glands are mixing with the food now. It does not go into the blood. So the basic difference, keep this in mind, that the gland that will be secreting their secretion either to the surface of the body, or also they will not be going into the blood. That will be called as exocrine gland. And their secretions are normally called as enzymes. The term that we use for the secretion is called as enzyme. When we talk about endocrine gland, so they will be secreting their secretions directly into the blood. Directly into the blood. Just keep this term in mind. So their secretions will directly go into the blood. Keep that in mind. Okay, now have a look at this image. Here we have these endocrine glands, and on this side you have the exocrine gland. You can clearly note down the difference between the two. Like the eyes, we have the tear gland. So tear does not go into the blood. Saliva secreted by the salivary gland, it does not go into the blood. Getting it, guys? Sweat coming from the sweat gland, milk coming from the mammary gland. Stomach has different digestive glands that would be producing certain kind of enzymes. Okay, liver is also a gland and it produces bile juice. Where does the bile juice get stored, by the way?
Sir, can you repeat?
Where is bile juice stored? Yeah, where is bile juice stored? Is it?
Gallbladder.
Yeah, that is gallbladder. Okay, now. Okay, so all these juices that are, all these secretions that are being secreted by these glands, they do not go into the blood. Either they will be coming onto the surface of their skin, or like in the eyes, in the mouth, or in some organs. That is one thing. But when you look at these glands, like pineal gland, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, thymus, pancreas, adrenal, ovary, and testis. Okay, now. So these are some of the glands whose secretions will be going into the blood as well. Exceptions are there, like testis and ovary. These secretions do not go into the blood. Okay, now. But most of the these glands, like adrenal gland, pancreas, thymus, thyroid, and pituitary gland, or the pineal gland, their secretion goes into the blood. Getting it now? And their secretions will be called as hormones. So they are endocrine glands that are present in our body that secretes this special chemical substance called as hormones, and they are responsible for bringing about changes in the human body at the time of puberty. And thus they will be acting as a chemical messenger. Okay, now, and they will be transporting signal from one part of the body to another, from one cell to another. Right now, so they will be kind of like as certain part of the body will be receiving a hormone, so that part of the body will be responding. Like we did learn about the adrenal gland, it produces adrenaline. So as the adrenaline will reach the heart, so heart will be responding in some manner by increasing its working, isn't it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now so there will be some response from the organ that will be receiving the hormones. So you guys tell me, this gland, should I write endocrine gland now here? Okay, now keep this in mind that hormones are secreted by endocrine glands and not by the exocrine glands. Keep that thing in mind. Okay, let me tell you some of the functions, like what functions do they perform. Okay, let me see if I have some space over here. Give me a minute. Okay, so talking about the functions that will be performed by these hormones are as follows. So first thing is that they will be circulating the different kind of fluid in the body, like the adrenal gland produces adrenaline, which is a fluid that circulates in the body. That is one thing. Furthermore, they will be responsible for bringing about different changes in the body. Okay, now also they can lead to some long-term changes in the body, in the behavior as well. Okay, like the development of the organs, different kind of uh, sexual organs. Okay, now that will be brought about by this hormone, by some kind of hormone. Change in the growth of the body, like we know there's a gland by the name of pituitary gland that will be producing a growth hormone, and that growth hormone will be responsible for bringing about growth in the body. Okay, now increase in the height and the increase in the muscle mass will be because of the pituitary hormone. Furthermore, menopause or menarche, these things will also be brought about by the female hormones. When the menstrual cycle will begin, when it will end, that is also brought about by the hormones. Okay, and it's the hormone that decides when menstrual cycle begins in the female and when it stops. Okay, now that is one thing. So first thing is, I say that it circulates the fluid in body. Next thing I say that they are uh, they lead to long term effect on the body. What kind of effect it can lead to? It can lead to behavioral changes. It can lead to behavioral changes. All right, it can lead to behavioral changes. Furthermore, it will lead to the growth of the body as well. It can lead to development of the sex organs as well. So development of sex organs. Okay, you guys tell me, like for those of you who have studied the chapter reproduction in the organism with me, you might be aware of the male hormone produced by the testes. Which is the hormone produced by the testes? Yes?
Sir, testosterone.
That is testosterone. Okay, now talking about the function. What function does it perform? The testosterone is responsible for the proper functioning of the male reproductive organ. Getting it, guys? It has some other functions also, but one of the function is that it is responsible for the development and proper functioning of the male reproductive organ. Got this now? Right now we are learning about the function of the hormone now. So we have one such hormone by the name of testosterone that will be maintaining the male reproductive organ. Similarly, in the case of the female also. So we know that ovary has two secretions. So one of them is the ovum and another one is, yes. What are the secretions of the ovary? By the way, there are more than two, actually three secretions by the ovary.
Sir, estrogen and progesterone.
Exactly. Estrogen, progesterone, and then as we know about ovum. Okay, na? And we know about the function of the estrogen and progesterone. These hormones plays a very important role in the menstruation and in the reproductive development of the females. Got this now? Furthermore, like during the menstrual cycle, the estrogen production increases. Okay, now while progesterone, it is produced in the case of pregnancy. Okay, now and progesterone will be responsible for bringing about certain changes in the female reproductive system during the time of pregnancy, like the pelvis would be broadening. Okay, now in order to accommodate the baby, different kind of changes are brought upon by progesterone. Okay, so they lead to development of the sex organs as well. Furthermore, they are also like they will be secreted in limited quantity from time to time whenever the body will be requiring it. Okay, now like it's not that the adrenaline hormone will be always secreted, not like in like every minute it is being secreted. It is secreted in limited quantity only in the situation when the body will be requiring it. Getting it, guys? Same is the case with other hormones like the testosterone, progesterone, progesterone. they will also be secreted in limited quantity and from time to time whenever the body will be in need of that hormone. Got this? So they are secreted in limited quantity whenever body requires it. Whenever body requires it. Okay. That is one thing. Okay. Now, furthermore, like, why do we get to see that? In some of the people, we get to see that they will be like, we know about the case of dwarfism and gigantism. Many people, some people would be suffering from some particular conditions. So it could be due to the problem in the nervous system. The nervous system is responsible for regulating the flow of hormones in the body. If the nervous system is damaged, then the flow of hormones in the body is disturbed. So flow of hormones is related to the nervous system. Getting
Sir,
what I'm trying to? Yes.
why the nervous system is damaged? Like, what is the cause of damage?
There are several causes of damage to the nervous system. It could be due to some accident, or it could be due to some infection. Getting it? Or basically, it can be some genetic problem also. Okay, no. So if someone has met an accident, okay, no. So what might happen? Let's say some of the nerves, okay, no, like a good number of nerve cells are damaged. Okay, no. So thereby the person will be suffering from such nerve problems. Getting it now? That is the case. Okay. There are some genetic problems also because of which the nervous system can get damaged. Okay. There can be some autoimmune diseases also. You guys know about autoimmune disease? Have you guys heard of autoimmune disease?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Basically, the autoimmune disease in that case now, most of the medicines will fail to work. The body itself will start to kill the cells. Okay, and that's what happens in the autoimmune disease, and it's really difficult to treat an autoimmune disease. Anyways, coming back to the topic, so hope you guys have understood the function of the hormone so far. Okay, and it is produced by the exocrine or the endocrine gland.
Endocrine.
Endocrine gland, very good. Okay, no. Furthermore, another important thing to be noted down is that the endocrine glands are also called as ductless gland because their secretions, like the hormones, directly goes into the blood. Okay, no, they don't have any tube-like structure. Like this sweat gland has a tube-like structure, via which the sweat will be coming out. Okay, no, while endocrine gland doesn't have any tube-like structure. Tube, basically the word we are using for duct here. So they are also called as ductless gland. Keep that in mind. Okay, now they are also called ductless gland. Okay, no. Okay, mixed glands. I'm not touching this topic because we'll be studying about this in the next class. Like in the 9th grade, you'll be studying about it. There are some glands that will be acting as exocrine and endocrine gland both. So they'll be called as mixed gland. Okay. Make sure that you guys remember the names of the endocrine gland and the exocrine gland. Okay, all of you guys just take a look at this image and I'm going to ask some questions from this. Basically, I'll be asking the names of the gland. Okay, now. Okay, I'm about to change the slide. You guys
So
will be
can you just like spell all the glands?
yeah, sure. From exocrine or the endocrine?
Both.
Okay, sure. See, in our eyes, we have the tear gland that secretes tear. In mouth, we have salivary gland that secretes saliva. In the skin, we have two kind of glands. One is the sweat gland, another one is the sebaceous gland, or oil gland. The sweat gland will be producing the sweat, while oil gland would be secreting the sebum. Okay, now sebum basically the oil. Then in the stomach, we have some digestive glands that will be producing different kind of enzymes. Let me write down this one too. They are digestive glands in the stomach that will be producing some enzymes. Okay. Mammary gland produces milk. Liver itself is a gland and produces bile juice. Pancreas is also a gland and secretes pancreatic juices. Intestine will be secreting its secretion will be mucus. The secretions inside the intestine. Intestine in itself is not a gland, but there are some digestive glands present inside the walls of the intestine. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now. So there are digestive glands present here also. Then in the case of endocrine gland, the important ones you guys have to memorize is the pituitary gland, this one, thyroid gland, then pancreas is important, adrenal gland is important, ovary, testis, you guys have already studied about this. Pineal gland, that one is also important.
Actually, in my class, we haven't started these both chapters.
Okay, this hasn't been started. Okay, no issue. Okay, I'm about to change the slide. Everyone will be required to at least answer 2 exocrine and 2 endocrine glands. All right. Okay, I'll be taking names. You guys need few more seconds. If yes, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll be changing the slide. Okay. Let's start from Khadija. Khadija mentioned mentioned 2 adrenal, endocrine and 2 exocrine gland. All of you turn your cameras on in the class. Yes, Khadija. Okay, Gauri, you.
Sir, for exo there is salivary gland and a digestive gland,
Okay.
and for endo there is pituitary gland and pancreas gland.
Pancreas. Okay, good. Next, Abdullah.
Yes, sir.
Mention the examples.
There will be a digestive gland and the pancreas, that one.
Categorize them also, like which example you are quoting. You're quoting the example of endocrine or exocrine.
Sir, it will be exocrine.
Which one, pancreas or the digestive? Which one you're saying?
Both digestive and
No, digestive glands are the exocrine gland. Pancreas is an endocrine gland.
okay, sir. So I have to say two examples.
Yeah, if you can tell some more examples.
So for endocrine, there will be thyroid gland,
Good.
and for one more, for will be
Okay, no issues. Next, Chakrika, you.
Oh, yes, sir. For exocrine, there will be sweat glands and the mammary glands,
Yes.
the salivary glands,
Okay, very good.
and then for the endocrine glands, there will be the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, and the ovaries and the testis.
Very good. Next, Aleph and Khadija, you guys are left. Is one of you start? Aleph? Yeah, Aleph, you there in the class? Okay, I think isn't. Khadija?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Aleph, mention the examples quickly.
For pituitary gland.
No, you had to mention the example of adrenal, this exocrine and endocrine. Okay, we had so many examples: pineal gland, pituitary, thyroid, adrenal gland, pancreas, thymus.
Pancreas.
These are the examples of endocrine. For exocrine, we have these following examples: steal gland, salivary gland, sweat gland, digestive gland, mammary gland, etc. Okay, moving on to the next topic. Let us understand what is the role of the hormones in initiating the reproductive functions. Okay, for example, hormones from the pituitary will be stimulating the testis and ovary to release the testosterone hormone, namely in the male, while estrogen in the female body. Okay, now. So what we get to see here, that hormones will be initiating the reproductive function. There's a role of hormone in initiating the reproductive function. Getting it? Like pituitary gland that is present in the brain, this pituitary gland, it will be kind of stimulating the testis and the ovaries to release their hormone, to release the testosterone and estrogen. Getting it, guys? Then what will happen? Basically, what happens? The pituitary gland, okay, now it will be releasing the secretion into the bloodstream. Okay, like how is the message going to reach from the pituitary gland to the testis and the ovary? How is it going to reach? So pituitary gland will be secreting its secretions in the blood, and the blood will carry the message to the testis and the ovary, isn't it, guys? That's how the message will reach the testis and ovary. Got
Yes,
this?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the message is reaching the testis and the ovary, so they are being called as the target site. What do we call them? We are calling them as the target site. Getting it, guys? And as the message will reach them, so thereby now changes will start to occur once the puberty starts. Okay, now so there we had the role of the puberty gland. So pituitary glands, they are present in the body, and they control the production of the hormones by the endocrine glands, both in the case of male and the female. So thereby they will be secreting, they will be controlling the secretions of the different glands. Okay, now so thereby pituitary glands are also called as master glands. Pituitary glands are also called as master glands. Getting it, guys? So
Yes,
why
sir.
we call pituitary gland as master gland? Because they control the secretion of other endocrine glands. So hope this should be clear. Okay. All right, now okay. That was the target side. Is this thing clear? What is the target side here? If not, let me explain this. The thing is that the target site basically will be the location in the body wherever the hormone is meant to reach. So the part of the body for which a particular hormone is being meant or is being sent, that is called as target site. Like for example, what will be the target site of the adrenaline hormone? It will be the heart and the lungs. That will be the target site. Getting it now? So similarly, for the pituitary gland, it will be secreting some secretions, and those secretions will go into the target site that is in the ovary, okay, na? Or in the testis. Okay, so target site, this is a part of the body where hormone is sent. Okay. So we are going to stop our discussion here. In the next class, we'll be learning about the reproductive phase of life in the humans. Okay, now when does the reproductive phase begin in the male and when it begins in the female? We'll be learning about menstruation, menarche, and menopause, all that in detail. And there's one topic that is left to be discussed is the determination of the sex in the unborn baby. Okay, now how the sex of the unborn baby is determined. Okay. By the way, you guys tell me, determination of the unborn baby's sex, is it legal or illegal?
Legal?
Sir, in India it's illegal, but in other countries it's legal.
In other countries, you're saying it's
Legal.
legal.
Yes.
In some different countries have different rules for it. Okay, now basically the reason why it is being illegal in some countries, like in India, like female infanticide is still practiced in some villages, in some rural backgrounds, I would say. Not proper to say villages. Okay, now, but wherever the people would be illiterate, so there female infanticide will be practiced, so thereby it is illegal. Getting it, guys? Okay, let's do questions. Like, we have few minutes left. If you guys have any questions from this chapter, please let me know. Or how about we do questions from the chapter from the previous chapters? Quickly tell me, we have few minutes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do questions from the chapter combustion and flame. Yeah. Okay, in the chapter combustion and flame, you have learned about the different zones. Okay, just tell me what are the qualities of an ideal fuel? Like, also tell me, like, does an ideal fuel exist or not? First of all, tell me the characteristics or the qualities of an ideal fuel.
Sir, it should be readily available
Good,
and it should have a high calorific value
very good,
and
It should produce less pollution.
good. Less pollution,
it shouldn't produce any undesirable substances. I mean
very,
residues.
very good, very good.
And it should be easy to transport and handle.
Easy to transport, easy to store and handle. Good.
And
Mhm.
it should be inexpensive.
Inexpensive, easy to. It should be affordable. Okay, but is there any fuel with all these qualities?
No, sir.
So thereby ideal fuel does not exist. Okay, now. Okay, what is the unit in which calorific value is measured?
Kilojoules per. Hmm.
How do we measure calorific value? Yes, it is measured in. I'm expecting answer from you guys.
Calorie.
Can I?
Yeah.
Kilojoule per kg.
Per kg, kilojoule per kilogram. Okay, now. Okay, I want all of you to do this question. Okay, I'm giving a question. You guys will be required to do it after the class and tell me the answer in the next class. Okay, now there's a fuel. Okay, now, and upon burning, it gives a heat equivalent to, let's say, 78,000 kilojoule. Okay, now, and how much of fuel you have burned? You have burned 13 kilogram. Okay, now you have to tell me the calorific value. You guys can answer this in the next class. Okay, or if someone would like to answer now, you can answer it. Okay. By the way, Abdullah, I had to discuss few things with you. You haven't like shared your syllabus with me. I said you to write that in the chat box. Others, if you wish, you can answer it in today's class. Okay, na? Yes, Chikrika. Yeah, very good, Chikrika. In the chat box, guys. I want everyone to do this themselves.
Sir, should I send now the portion?
Yeah, or just tell me in the class, because the team haven't sent it to me. Send it to me so that tell me so that I can write it down. Yeah.
2 minutes. I will.
Okay. Yeah, others, don't leave the class before solving this question. Okay. Yeah, well done. Shikrika, in your answer, the unit is missing. Khadija, well done. These are the small details that don't miss in the exam. Otherwise, the examiner will be deducting the marks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Abdullah.
My exam is the last one at 8th October, science, and
Yeah.
this